Coming live from Satellite High School, home of the Satellite Scorpions, as they host the Patriots from Freedom High School. We're about an hour late. Bill Maharis, Coach Doug Cook, press box overtime in the house. Better late than never, Coach.
Better late than never. I tell you what, this is going to run into my bedtime, Bill. It's supposed to start at 7, but Freedom High School got here late. Had a weather delay as well, lightning in the area. So
yeah, it's and we got to take. Listen, you were the administrator here at
22 years.
22 years. I was right next door at Delora Middle School, 6 years as a dean. And we all know here in Florida, you don't play with lightning. It went off about 10 till 7. I think it went off again. And then once they came on the field, they got about 15 minutes to warm up. We've got about 7 minutes to kick off, but we're excited. A couple things new tonight. We've done a couple on YouTube. We usually do it on Facebook, but we're going to try to use our YouTube channel, mainly because we've had some people comment that they don't have a Facebook account, so they can't watch YouTube. You don't have to have an account. Just go to YouTube channel, click on Press Box Overtime. You're going to see our lovely faces. You're at the right place. And I figured it out. We might be a little bit older. Doesn't mean I see Space Coast is up 14-0 over St. Edwards. Added a scoreboard, so hopefully I'll work that thing correctly. I know a lot of you have asked about that, so like everybody else, we're trying to up our game. Talking about upping our game, last year Satellite was 1-9. This year they move over to the Sunshine State Athletic Association with a Hall of Fame coach, one that you know, Dan Burke. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah, Dan Burke's been around a while. I think he's won 2 state championships, 14 district championships, regional final appearances, and 22 playoff appearances. You've got an excellent coach here to develop a program. I know they got out of the district. He's going to develop a program here, and you're going to see some really exciting things happen here at Satellite High School.
Yeah, I agree, Doug. And boy, it's one thing. You coached for 22, 23 years. You made the playoffs 22 times. You averaged 10 wins a year. You win 2 state championship teams. And we know Satellite High School's had their ups and downs when it comes to football. Again, you were here for 22 years. Coach Kimmy, when he came in, he's now the athletic director and the coach over at Cocoa Beach. He moved him into the independent, gained some games, went back into Class 5A, to me the hardest Class 5A district in the state with Rockledge, Merritt Island, I think Titusville. Last year 1-9, but I read something that Coach Burke said, and again, he seemed excited about moving back to the SSAA, playing teams same caliber, giving these guys an opportunity to be winners. And we talked about that as far as success. Success isn't just measured by wins.
It's a good thing to keep your job.
You got to put food on the table. And look, I'm looking out here. We've probably got 300 people here. Satellite is off to a 2-0 start. We got a Hall of Fame coach. Gosh, we probably got maybe 60 guys out there on the team. Probably twice what Freedom brought with them. So I'm like you, Doug. What is success? You got kids coming out. You're winning some games. You're competitive every week. You got fans in the stands. Those kids still got an opportunity to play at the next level. I mean, we were talking earlier during the rain delay. Look at college football. They got FBS, FCS, Division II, Division III, NIA, Division I. Those national champions are national champions. They don't care what. Space Coast State champions last year in the Atlantic Division for SSAA. So I'm like you. I'm excited for them. These fans are excited. They've already scored half as many points as they scored all last year. You know it better than I. There's electricity in the air, and I don't mean lightning.
They've got some great athletes out here. Kids are really doing a tremendous job too with these kids. These kids want to play football. They love football. They played. They probably played at the Pee Wee League coming up. And they're playing in their community. For their high school, and they're excited about it. That's the way high school should be. We all want to win. But we definitely want kids to participate. I don't care if it's lacrosse, basketball, whatever. Get kids, get involved. And these kids are excited tonight. They're 2-0. Going into a third game. And it's going to be an exciting game.
I agree with you 100%. Let me put my peepers on and we can name out who the captains are. So as they're walking out there for Satellite, we have got number 7, and that is Tim Garvey. We've got number 6, Reed Natwick. We've got 64, which was my son's jersey number at Rockledge, Nick Perella. And we've got number, I think that's 79 maybe, Bailey Matson. So those are the captains. I'll try to see the captains for Freedom. I think I see number 10 out there, Pedro Rodriguez. He's a junior. I'll see if I can pick up those other jersey numbers. But, you know, I agree with you. When we look at the small percentage that play at the college level, you know, one thing you don't want, and I used to tell these kids when I was at Delore for 6 years as the dean, I want them to play at the next level, but they're not going to do that if they don't enjoy it.
Right.
Not just the physicality of becoming a better player, but like you said, if they enjoy it, they have a great coach like Coach Burke, they're having a good time, then if they've got that physical ability, they want to keep playing.
Oh, no doubt about it. And we talked about the high school experience.
Right.
I mean, we all wish we could be back in high school.
I wish I had my hair back.
Yeah, me
if
too.
I had my hair, I'd be happy.
Yeah, me too, if I had my hair. But what a fun time we had. I mean, I played sports, played football, basketball, baseball.
Right.
What a great time it was, and the friendship that you make, and the friends there.
Right.
But, you know, kids moving on to college level, there's very few kids that moved there. Your daughter played college. My 5 kids
All 5 of yours played.
Uh,
Yep.
I mean, you've got to have a little bit of talent to get up there. But, you know, just come out on Friday night and have a good time.
Satellite's going to receive the kick. If I can get a couple of these jersey numbers. I got number 10 already. Let me see here. I've got number 77. That is Jason Jonathas. I missed the other ones, but again, that was the kick. That was the coin toss. We're going to move it over here and before we do the national anthem, and we can watch Satellite coming out.
It's interesting. Freedom has the same colors as Satellite.
Yeah.
And
well, listen,
red and silver.
They talk about old dogs and new tricks. Got this little app that I downloaded today with the scoreboard. Hopefully, I'm smart enough to know how to work it. Put the colors on there. I did put blue for Freedom because I did see on their website they had red and blue, so I didn't want to put both red. But as they say, Coach, we continue to try to up our game, so hopefully by streaming on YouTube we get some more viewers, because again, you don't have to have an account. We did put the link on our Facebook page, so our Facebook followers, over 700 now, can easily catch us on YouTube. We talked a little bit about Satellite. Just like Coach Cook said, they come in 2-0, 2 shutouts. They beat Oak Ridge 38-0. They beat Halifax 19-0. I think we're getting ready to do the national anthem, so we're going to turn it over to the band.
Please stand, represent the children.
So that flag is half-staff due to the unfortunate loss of life at the school up in Minnesota. national anthem by one of the singing groups, I'm assuming, here at Satellite. I always, I don't know about you, Coach, but I always like it when it's either the band or chorus group versus a recording that does the national anthem. It means a lot more. And like we were talking about earlier to a young lady out in the parking lot, there's some musical talent over here beachside.
You know, Satellite High is a fine arts academy.
Yes,
and
for good reason.
Well, there are some talented kids here in their music program for sure. Great school.
Put this around to show you the Satellite team as they get ready to come on. Satellite comes in 2-0. You've got 2 shutouts we were just talking about for national anthem. They beat Oak Ridge 38-0, Halifax Academy 19-0. So they've already scored 57 points. Last year they only scored 93 for the whole season. And actually after the first 2 games last year, I think they lost by a total score of 70-9. So yes, they played Rockledge and Vieira to start last year, Doug. They played different teams this year, but I'll be honest with you, coach, last year doesn't matter. I'm telling my team, listen, we only scored 93 points last year. We've already got 57 and 2 shutouts. That's got to be a huge springboard going into the season.
That is true. Last year doesn't matter. And, you know, Coach Berg is a great offensive mind, too. So I've coached against him, and it's not easy.
Well, and again, think about it. New coach, moving into the Sunshine State Athletic Association, and again, I think most of the fans know this, they don't have a kickoff classic. That first game of the season counts because they actually end their season a week before the FHSAA, and this is cool. All the teams make the playoffs, so all the teams get an extra game. So
that's cool.
Again, that's a real cool thing. So that's why you see Satellite 2-0. Freedom comes in at 0-1. They lost last week to St. Cloud 55-8. And we got kickoff at 8:11. Reception made by number 28. That is Adrian Garcia. Tackle by 21, senior Isaac Valaquez. And Isaac actually had 5 tackles last week in the loss to St. Cloud. So, and again, Freedom, both teams were 1-9 last year. Freedom plays in a 7A. And it depends on how many kids come out, and you and I were talking about it. 7A school, maybe they got 25 or 30 players, so it doesn't seem like a lot come out for football, because 7A, I'm thinking they're a pretty big school.
Yep.
So it's 1st and 10, Satellite at their own. We're going to call it the 38.
I don't know if Satellite brought up their JV, but they've got a lot of kids out there.
They do. I'm thinking probably at least 50 to 60. 1st and 10 from their 38. Handoff goes to number 1. That's Alex Vitalis. He's going around the corner. He's got a couple guys to beat. He's down the sideline. That's a 25-yard run. That's how you start a football game.
It's like he knocked out, number 1 knocked him out of bounds there on the far side.
Hey, we've only had one play. I'm losing my voice. I'm getting too excited. Somebody got to bring us up some water. I've only got 1 bottle. Nice little end around by number 1. Again, that was Alex Vitalis. He's actually a wide receiver. So they are now in Patriots territory. 1st and 10 from the Patriots 42. Second play of the game, Satellite. Another handoff coming around this way. That's to number 2, Drayden Mitchell. Another turns the corner.
Knocked out by number 1 again.
That's number 1, R.J. Coleman. He also had 5 tackles last week in the loss to St. Cloud. He's made both tackles, so luckily they got R.J. out on the field.
Another first down. Just keep running that play.
2 plays, 2 first downs. It is 1st and 10 for Satellite as they're moving the ball at the Patriot 29 on your screen. They're going left to right, north to south. 1st and 10, Satellite for the 3rd time tonight. Might have been a little motion. That was a handoff to number 11 up the middle, Anthony Romero. But I don't know, when they throw the flag down early, I'm thinking motion. Yep. Yeah, a little shift.
A little motion there.
I'll be honest with you, Coach. I get motion. I don't know about shift. I don't know if that's two guys at once, one guy that I don't know what a shift is.
Well, whatever it is, Coach Burke is not going to be happy.
No. I know I worked a couple shifts sometimes when, as an admitted, you know that. Sometimes, as they say in retail, key to key. I'm sure this brings back memories. You went to school on a Friday at 6:37. You're still here this time of night.
Oh, yeah.
So that's working
Midnight.
2 shifts.
Yeah.
All right, so the loss on the play, replay, first down. 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. It is 1st and 15. And at quarterback's number 5, Brody Brennan. Another play around the corner. That's number 34 with the ball. Raiden Kerr.
Taken down by number 3.
Number 3. I don't have a number 3, so wasn't a number 3 on Max Preps. Unfortunately, we don't have him, but we got his number. I tell you what I like so far, Coach. I think there's been 4, 5 running plays, 4 different guys. You got 4 guys already this early in the game carrying the ball. Freedom's got to think twice about it.
Yeah, he's spreading the ball out. That's good. He's got that many potential running backs for sure.
All right, 2nd and 4. The ball sits at the 22 of Freedom. Brody brings him up to the line. 2 in the backfield. Fake handoff. Boy, he's got all the time in the world. He's wide open in the corner. Oh, he overthrew him. Pass intended for number 12, Noah Karivu, if I pronounce that right. If I didn't, hopefully I got Noah correct.
To be normal like that.
Good
tight
tight spiral, yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice play.
It's a little long,
Again,
but
home crowd. Again, we probably got 300 or 400 people up here. What is it? Corvo, thank you. All right, so I got Noah's last name.
Try not to touch it, because it says no signal sometimes.
All right, ball's in the ground. Once that ball fumble picked up by Alex, number 1 wide receiver.
Bring up 3rd down. Make it 4th down.
All right, so what do we got? We got 4th down, 4th and 5. The ball sits at the 25 of Freedom. I don't know their kicking situation. I don't see a kicker running out there. Brennan's coming back in with the play. I think we've seen a lot already. We've seen a couple first downs, and here we are with 9:29 left in the first quarter.
Scorpions moving the ball pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
They've messed up a couple times here, so kind of losing their focus. They've got to get it back here.
Two guys moved. Now, I did understand that. I did get that. 2 guys in motion at one time. Moves it back 5. Is that going to change it? So let's see. We got 21 coming out. He's a cornerback. We got number 30. 30 is a kicker. That is Preston Kennedy. So it looks like he's going to try a field goal. Let's see. They got it down to 30 at 7. 47-yard try. Let's see how that goes. I could barely hit my wedge 47 yards, let alone a field goal. 47-yard field goal attempt by the kicker, Preston Kennedy. It's up. Looks like it's got the distance. Oh, just a little short. It was right down the pipe. Little short. Nice effort. But again, Coach, if you're Coach Burke, you've got to at least be happy with what you saw.
Well, I don't think he's real happy right now. I wouldn't be. I'm moving the ball. I'm getting down there.
Right.
And I'm
got
running
nothing
all
to
over.
show.
I'm running all over. I fumble. I have 2 motion penalties.
Right.
And this is the 3rd game. They should already have that out of their system. They've got to wake up. So I'm sure there's going to be some discussion on the sideline with the offense.
Right. Well, you bring up a good point. And some people might say, well, this is also the third game for Freedom, but a lot of teams on that kickoff classic, they're playing their JV team. So it's not. I'm not saying they're not trying as hard, but you might not have the starting personnel out there. Where Satellite, where both games count, did. So you're right. They've had 2 full-fledged games where Freedom has not. Freedom 1st and 10 from their 20 after that missed field goal by Satellite. Little handoff around the end. That's number 2, Swaylin Larande. Number 10 is the quarterback, Pedro Rodriguez. He's a junior. He was one of the captains. Second down. Looks like no gain. Maybe a hair of a loss, but we'll call it second and 10. Again, this is the first time tonight that Freedom has had the ball. Like Coach Cook said, Satellite put some miles on. They probably gained about 40 or 50 yards, 3 first downs, a couple of motion penalties, put them back. A little bit of a missed field goal where that 5-yard penalty might have made a difference. But they walk away with no points to show for that effort. And now we're back with number 10, Pedro Rodriguez. A little pass out, intended for number 1, R.J. Coleman. A little bit over his head. But I tell you, Coach, there were more red shirts close to that pass than gray.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the Scorpion defense so far. You know, you win with defense. Offense is for the show.
You tell me that all the time.
For the dough. Can you tell I'm a defensive coach?
Yeah, I could. Well, listen, and again, I don't care who you played. They played Oak Ridge and Halifax Academy. You pitched 2 shutouts. I'm thinking that defensive team, they got a little pride working right now. They'd like to keep that donut going.
Oh, I think so, man. Definitely.
If you were the DC, you'd like it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I would. I like it.
All right, we got
the scheme so far.
Yeah, 3rd and 10. No gain on the first 2 plays. Running play went nowhere. Incomplete pass. Quarterback Pedro Rodriguez back for the snap. He's looking for it, putting it in the air. Wide open is R.J. Coleman. I tell you what, I'm looking at that number 15 that just picked up the ball. That kid's not 6'4".
Oh, at least.
You know, that's the kind of guy who's like, go long, I'm throwing it up. Just like we were playing behind Cambridge Elementary on a Sunday morning after church. Go long, I'm throwing it up, you're taller.
Yeah, he's at least 6'4", 6'5".
That's a good size to have.
Good looking kid.
All right, 4th down, they're gonna have to punt. Again, a nice 3 and out by the defense for Satellite. Came into the game with 2 shutouts. They take pride in keeping the points off the board. Makes it easier for me so I don't have to use this new scoring app too much if I can keep a 0 on one side. All right, kick is up. A little bit short. Barely, okay, took a nice bounce, luckily for Freedom.
Maybe somebody touched that, you think?
Well, that's what you got to worry about.
Couldn't
you know.
see.
All right, after that punt of about 20 yards, thanks to the roll. Second time tonight, Satellite goes on offense. They've got the ball 1st and 10 at the Freedom 45-yard line. But
now, Freedom's got some athletes out there. I mean, they're not too bad.
it's early, yeah. You know, it's early. Like I said, they it looks like they got some big dudes there on that defensive line. So does Satellite on the offense. Second time tonight, quarterback under center. This is number 5, Brody Grennan. Nice little play right up the middle. That's number 34, Raiden Curves. You know, again, that's something we talked about. I like where I've already seen 4 different guys carry the ball. It's nice to see, and that's going to keep them fresh if this game is close in the 4th quarter.
Right, that's a good point, Bill, because Freedom doesn't have that many players. You got a lot of kids going both ways. They're going to be worn out probably before halftime here.
Right.
They've got to get Freedom's got to get some points on the board early.
Yeah, that's you know, because again, Satellite's got, gosh, I bet you there's 400, 500 people here. All right, pick up a 6, 2nd and 4. A little mix up in the back. Keeper by the quarterback. Gets past that line, gets past that 1st down marker. That, and you know more than I, that was a smart play. Broken play. He didn't try to do anything fancy. He tucked it under and ran and got the 1st down.
Yeah. Yeah, good decision on the quarterback.
First down by quarterback number 5, Brody Brennan. And that's their, I believe, 4th first down of the night. 1st and 10, just inside Freedom's 35. Again, after that little storm went by, it turned out to a beautiful evening. Got a little breeze going.
Oh,
this is Friday night football in Florida at its best. 1st and 10 for the Scorpions. Hand up right up the middle. Oh, he's still on his feet. He's still up. That's number 8, Will Copeland. That's their 5th first down of the night. Got a water break at the 6:18 mark in the 1st quarter. All right, let's put on your offensive coordinator hat. What do you like? What are you telling them now they need to do?
Well, I think what I'm seeing is Satellite is coming off the ball really well with their offensive line.
Right.
This Wallace kid is really good at center. Big kid.
Okay.
He's got to be at
Good.
least 230, 240.
Wow, yeah.
Big kid. Doing a great job there. Opening up some holes for these guys. I think they're, let's see, Freedom is not as big as Satellite on the defensive line, so they're gonna create some. You see the big kid there, number 72, I think it is.
Oh yeah, I see. Yep.
That's I believe that's
Well,
is that
and-
Wallace.
Let's see.
Number is
72. Jacob Carnes.
see,
right guard.
That's
Yep.
Wallace.
Wallace
78.
is 78.
78 at center. So you got two big boys there that can certainly open some holes.
Well, and here we go, right up the middle again. Nice tackle. Looks like that was number 70 for Freedom on the tackle. That is Elijah Ruiz. He's a sophomore. And again on the carry was number 34, Kerr, one of the running backs. That's got to be, I don't know if we've done a game where we've seen 5 different guys carry the ball in the first 10 plays. I mean,
man.
like you just said, you brought up a good point. Looks like they got a strong offensive line. Keep the guys rotating in and out. That way defense is guessing who's getting the ball, and they all run a different way. That means a lot.
That's going to be tough on the defense. You're going to wear the defense down if you got that many weapons.
Back up to Kerr, right up the middle. He's got a big space, and it looks like he is inside the 10-yard line. I think that's first down number 6 tonight for Satellite. First and goal to go with 5:21 left in the first quarter.
I don't understand. They got a horn out here. You're not supposed to have a horn according to Florida high school activities. Have you heard the horn?
Yeah,
Sounds like a train.
I remember.
According to Florida high school activities, so you can't have one.
I remember when I was
Maybe they changed the rules.
when I was calling the games for Rockledge, and a kid had one of those up in the stands, and a good friend of mine, retired Principal Tony Hines, yeah, that horn went away pretty quick. So
Yeah. I had one here.
I get it, and we'll see if I would imagine somebody wearing stripes. All right, first and goal to goal. Ball sits at about the 8-yard line. Handoff up the middle to number 11. He gets stopped, but he carries a couple with him. I think that's his first carry tonight. Anthony Romero picks up about 4. Second and goal to go from the 4.
Yep, Freedom stuck it out right there.
Yeah, they
Good
did.
defense right there.
I tell you what,
Goal
I
line
know,
defense.
I know they've got for the wide receivers yards after carry. I think they call them yak. We've seen a lot of yards after touch. Those running backs, like that young man right there, number 11, Romero, he got hit. He went 3 or 4 more yards.
Yeah, he's a tough runner, bruising runner.
So we got Romero and 34 Kerr in the backfield. Second and goal to go from looks like maybe the 6.
Toss on the outside.
Coming around the corner. Touchdown, Satellite Scorpions. Number 34, Raymond Kerr at the 3:54 mark of the first quarter. Six-yard carry.
I did it the first
You know what?
Good run there.
They keep doing this, we might not see too many passing plays because right now Freedom doesn't have an answer for that running game.
No, not at all. They haven't slowed him down.
All right,
Keep running it.
Extra point, number 30, Kennedy's up. We know he's got the leg right down the middle. Look at both sides up, and no good. All right, let me get in here. I'm gonna try this new fancy scoreboard we got. Man, if I could do it, anybody can. And at 3, I went wrong. Okay, I told you. Well, I got my new glasses on. I'm trying to live through these bifocals. And so thanks to Coach Cook, I figured it out. And at the 3:54 mark, Satellite up 6-0. So let me ask you this. You got a running game that's going that good. Do you start throwing the passing in, or right now you just keep going with what's, bringing the money home?
Well, coaches want to work on their offense. I think if Satellite gets ahead of the 2 or 3 touchdowns, they'll
Right.
start throwing the ball more.
Right.
Because they're going to come against tougher teams.
Right.
And you got to have your passing game ready, especially in this day and age. When I coached, we ran the wishbone. We rarely threw the ball. Nowadays, everybody's throwing the ball.
Yeah,
There you go. There the
I agree. I agree. I mean, And I think, and you know this too, we've got 5 or 6 guys that have carried the ball. They all have different styles. So like you said earlier, it's not that you don't know who's going to get the ball. They all run differently. All right, pick up by number 6. Man, those Scorps are swarming. He's got nowhere to go. They tackle him down at the 29-yard line. That was number 6 on the carry, Andre Lang. He's a freshman.
It was a short kick, but you can run that ball up the middle.
Right,
You got to
right.
have your wedge, run it up the middle. Don't go sideline to sideline. That's hard to do on a kickoff.
What do they tell you, north and south? And that's
North and
kind of
south.
that's where we are today, north and south. But you're right. Sometimes a poor kid will run 50 yards and gain 5. But nice coverage by special teams for Saturday.
Yeah, take it up the middle and get as much as you can in the wedge.
Right.
Is that better now?
Second time on the offense tonight, the Patriots out of Orlando, Freedom High School. They're 7A District 4 with Timber Creek, Boone, and Winter Park. Again, they finished 1-9 last year, and they are 0-1 this year. Had a loss last week to St. Cloud. They are led by head coach Brandon Pennington. Uh-oh, nice little run up the middle. Nice little juking back and forth. I believe that is number 2. That is Swaylin Laronde. He's a junior. Nice little pickup of about 14 yards. But we got a towel on the field, and it's painted yellow, and it looks like it's got illegal shift against the offense. That's got to be tough. That's the first really good play of the night, and now they got to call it back.
Kind of breaks your back there.
That's
good run. Good tackle
tough.
by number 6 from Satellite.
Yeah, it sure was. Number 6, that
I
is
believe
Reed
he's-
Natwick.
He saved a touchdown run there.
Yeah, that number 2, he put a
got some
couple good. He put some speed and put a couple of good moves on the ball. Again, that was Swaylin Laronde. But with that illegal motion, that leaves a 2nd and 15. Ball sits at the Patriots 25. All right, defensive coordinator. What are we playing right now as far as the defensive setup? Because it looks like we got a 3-4. Yeah, 4-4.
3-4 here.
3-4. You got 2 playing safety in the back.
Yeah.
2nd and 15. Handoff again to number 2. Following that right guard. Gets nowhere. Again, nice defense by, that's one thing, again, defensive coordinator. They swarmed after that ball. There's red shirts all over the place.
I'm impressed with the defense so far and the offense.
They've looks like they got at least again with 3 minutes left of the first quarter. We've seen some good, solid, consistent play on both sides for Satellite. Freedom still trying to get in gear. Had a nice little run. That penalty hurt them a little bit. They've got 2nd and 13. Ball sits at their 28. Again, second time on offense tonight. Satellite missed a field goal the first time. Got a 6-yard touchdown run by Kara the second time. Second down, Freedom. Pass up in the air, right over the middle. We were just talking about him. That's that tall young man, number 15. That is Jermaine Wimmerly, just a sophomore. We might see that number a couple times tonight.
That's a great catch. Great defense as well.
Nice little pickup on the play. They got a manageable 3rd down, 3rd and a short 4. Ball sits at the 32-yard line. Key play because Satellite has played well both sides of the ball. I'm sure they want to give them another 7 and out. They'd like to hold them without a first down. And with Freedom, if they can get a little something going, even just moving the ball means a lot.
Yeah, if they can get the ball over the 50 and get a little momentum going, I think we might have a ball game here.
Yeah, it's, again, listen, I don't care what people say. You had an hour bus ride. You sat on the bus for another hour. You had 15 minutes to warm up.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, that's tough.
Delay a game. Boy, that's tough, man. Those 5-yard penalties. 15 yards hurt you, but 5 yards in this situation.
Yeah, this situation.
Now they got to change their game plan. They got 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 3. But again, when you've got number 15 for Freedom, Jermaine Wimmerly at probably 6'4" or 5, you've got a talent out there that can catch that ball.
Yeah, whenever I had to delay a game, Booster Club meeting on Monday nights, had a gentleman that would say, "Coach, you can't get those delay of games. That's your fault." I had to say, yes, sir, you're right.
Pass me the crow. Put a little mustard on it. No, I get
It was my fault, man.
I hate when they get it. They come out of a commercial break on college or pro. I'm like, what's with that? All right, 3rd and 8. Freedom trying to get another first down. Another whistle. Illegal movement. Oh man, that is just gut wrenching.
It's a left tackle.
That's tough. Another 5 yards. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm almost sending a guy deep, and at least if he doesn't catch it, let the defender catch it. That's a 60-yard punt. Because the first punt of the night for Freedom only went about 20 yards, and that's because 10 yards were on a roll.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
Yeah,
I think I would do the same thing.
I think I'd throw it long and just hope somebody catches it. Hopefully my guy. But if their guy catches it, that might be better than a punt.
Yeah.
All right, 3rd and 13.
Throw it up there. Oh, do it short.
Incomplete pass to number 1. So, again, never coached football. Played on Sundays at Cambridge Elementary School with no pads underneath the pine trees.
Well, that's tough.
I'm thinking you got to get past the first yard marker. We've even seen our Florida Gators do that. All right, you catch it 4 yards out, you got 8 more to go.
Yeah, you got to throw it a little deeper than that.
Yeah, you got to throw it at least. If I catch it, I got the first down. Second time tonight, Freedom Patriots on the punt. Satellite stayed at the 50.
Playing sandlot football, it's a lot tougher
man, I'm
than
telling
this
you.
right here.
I'm telling you.
You don't have pads on there.
I tell you, well, that's because it kept slipping off my shoulders at 135, dripping wet, 5'4". But I'll tell you a little Sandlot story in a minute. All right, second time tonight. Let's see if he gets a little bit better punt off. Yeah, a little better punt. Not a good roll, but that's all right. Down by number 17, Calvin Bramer. He's a sophomore. This will be the 3rd time tonight Satellite comes out on offense, and the 2nd time tonight they start on the other side of the 50-yard line. You know, that's got to be tough when you keep punting and the other team keeps starting in your own side of the 50.
No doubt. I'm telling you this. I mean, we got a little bit of a breeze out here on the beach, but it's still humid. I mean, it's August, so it's going to start wearing these kids down.
Well, I was looking at.
Got to get plenty of fluids.
I was looking at right before I retired as the county athletic director. We had to get these things called a bulb thermometer in, and it measures all that. One thing it didn't measure was age.
Yeah.
That factor is a little bit hotter when you're my age. All right,
absolutely.
First down, right up the middle, number 34. Man, he is breaking tackles all night long. That is number 34, Raiden Kerr. He's already got 1 touchdown under his belt. He reminds me, what was that kid at guy at Miami, Nottingham?
Yeah.
A little low to the ground, and
Tough
just
kid.
covered the ball. He reminds me of that. There is no east-west to that young man. He sees that goalpost. He doesn't care who's in front of him. He's going south.
Yeah, he's going after it.
All right, he picks up another first down. That's at least 7 or 8 for the Scorpions. 1st and 10. The ball's right on the 40. We got a whistle blown. All right, that's the end of the first quarter. Right now, Satellite. I was getting ready to say the score, but this new score app, Coach, they can see the score now. Let me. I'm gonna try to do it myself. I'm gonna see if I can't change that quarter. We're going to go watch scoreboard settings. I'm gonna go up here, 2nd quarter. I'm going to hit that save button. Man, just like that. You know what, Coach?
I like that.
I'm thinking Walmart after the game, ice cream sandwiches on me.
Man. I can't wait for that. I'm going to go right now.
All right, that was the end of the first quarter. Thanks to a touchdown run with 3:54 left by Reed and Kerr. Satellite leads 6-0.
Well, I was just thinking, did you do any research in reference to Freedom High School, how they got the name of Freedom and Patriots? That's kind of
I did not. I don't, and again, they're red, white, and blue. They are the Patriots. I'm going to guess they're probably not quite as old as Satellite. I think Satellite was built in 1962.
Yeah,
I think.
right.
I was going to say you and I are the first graduating class, but I know I'm thinking of a different decade. Yeah. All right, Satellite back with the ball. 1st and 10. Ball's up in the air for number 12. Oh, just off his fingertips. Ball intended for number 12, Noah Corval. Man, that was a pretty looking. Hey, that surprised me.
That's a
First
nice
down.
throw.
You know what? Now they got to think about, okay, they're going to throw it too.
Yeah, open it up a little bit.
Sure did. Wow, nice throw. Nice spiral.
Hit him
Good
in the wrong
coverage.
place. The hands.
Well, good coverage too. He had, I don't know if that's number 1 that he had on him, Coleman, but that was a nice play by defense. All right, so they got
nice spiral. Too.
incomplete pass. Second down, just starting the second quarter. Satellite with the ball for the 3rd time tonight. Handoff. This time, looks like is it number 34 again. I'm trying to see. I don't know who that is. I thought it was something 8 on the tackle, but that was a nice tackle by Freedom. Just a 1-yard gain. Nice little. That's one thing too, Freedom, especially on defense. They got to make some plays. They got to get their heads up a little bit. Not that they're down. The game's still early, but right now Satellite has been pretty much all Scorpions tonight.
Yeah, they've got the momentum for sure. I mean, it's a home field advantage. But they've Freedom's got
Pass play.
Got some talent.
Oh, nice shot! Wow. Pass play to number 1, Alex Matelis. I tell you what I liked about that coach. If you saw that, I'm sure you did. He threw the ball before the wide receiver turned.
Yeah.
The wide receiver turned and caught that ball. I don't know if you see that too much in high school.
Good timing.
Wow, that was awesome.
Quarterback's got some talent here.
He sure does. I mean, that was a beautiful pass. You see that in college. They throw to a spot.
Yeah,
High school, sometimes you don't see throwing to a spot, but very nice play. Yet another first down for Satellite. 1st and 10. The ball is inside the 30 of the Patriots. 1st and 10. Little swing out. Going around the edge. He's going to make a turn. Down to the 20. That is number 3, Bodie Woodson. Again, I think that's about the 6th person we've seen tonight carrying the ball.
Like, when the play ends, don't check your back stuff.
Gain of about 8. Gain of about 8. Let's see what we got here. Fighting a little bit on the window.
A little glare from the window.
All right, let's see. Coach Cook is right. I got to get me a smaller tripod to use if we have to go through the windows. All right, 2nd down and 3. Satellite. Oh, nice little misdirection. Oh, he could turn it. He might go in. Touchdown, number 1, Alex the Talent. Scorpions, 12-0.
It's a good cutback run there.
That sure was. I like that.
Good blocking.
I tell you who did that. Back when James Rowe's son played, they did that misdirection. It wasn't a wishbone, but they had 3 in the backfield, and you didn't know which way. That was a pretty play.
More like a wing T type of play.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure Coach Burt going to his playbook from many years ago.
All right, they got to go for 2 because they missed the extra point. They are up now 12-0. Going to go for 2. Handoff up the middle. I don't see any call. No. Score stays at 12 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. 2 nice run plays by the Scorpions, and they lead the Patriots of Freedom 12-0. Coach, you're right, man. This is the perfect weather. We got that nice breeze. I'm looking at those flags behind you. I'm looking at the flag there in the end zone. Of course, we're half a mile from the beach. This is why we live here.
What I like about football season, when football season comes, you know we're going to get a little cool weather.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to start cooling down, and I like that. Playing golf 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, there you go.
I need to get some nice weather, nice cool weather.
They missed a 2-point conversion again with the 20-yard run for the touchdown. That was number 1, Alex Mateo. All right, nice little kickoff. Got to pick it up, Number 8 with the ball, trying to turn the corner. with the ball. Kevin Una, if I pronounce that correctly, sophomore for Freedom. Third time tonight, Freedom starts with the ball. They are first and 10 at their 20. What are you telling your offense, Coach?
Keep doing what you've been doing. Hang on to the ball.
Right.
I think Coach Burton had a little talk with the offense after they had a few penalties there on
Right.
first drive. He hadn't thrown the ball much since then, so
Right.
he's keeping it on the ground right now.
Again, Freedom,
Smart thing to do.
it's not like we're in dire straits, but Freedom just, they need to have a successful drive, whether that's just getting a couple first downs, getting into satellite territory. But, right now it's all satellite. That was number 2 on the carry for Freedom. Swaylin LaRonde, he's the young man that had a really nice run earlier, but again, they had a shift call, and they had to call that back. And, like we say, nobody likes those 15-yard penalties. But man, those 5-yard penalties just always seem to come at the wrong time.
Oh yeah, they can change the game, the outcome of the game, real quick.
I can tell you what,
Been there, done it. Been there, done it.
we've got 2 really good bands. I can hear the satellite band. I'm looking across the way. There's probably 150 to 200 band members for Freedom. My pass complete to R.J. Coleman. Nice tackle by number 2. That is Braden Mitchell. Now that's something that's impressive too. Even at the pro and college level, open field tackling. And that young man right there, number 2, Braden Mitchell, did a good job.
That was a very good tackle, good technique.
I don't want to disrespect the band, but as a Gator fan, that song reminds me a little too much of one from Northern Florida.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can't change that up a
They were
little
like
bit.
2 and 10, weren't they? Last year.
Hey, we're going to get viewers dropping if we start choosing sides on the college game. But listen, Florida State, they can start this season on a high note when Bama comes into town. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I would rather play somebody else.
All right, 3rd and 7. Freedom, third time on offense. Back to pass. Right in the middle. That's number 15 again. Jermaine Wimberly, just a sophomore, 6'4", 6'5". Coach, I was thinking, go 10 yards, pass the first down marker, turn around, put your hands up. So,
It's a good idea.
That was a perfect play. So I'm thinking, Coach, they had that discussion when the last time they had third down, they went halfway. This time, he went all the way to the first down marker, and that's a little change up, I bet you, that offensive coordinator made. All right, that's about their third first down of the night. First and 10, they are just over the 30-yard line. Freedom.
Patriots have had good success throwing the ball.
Yeah,
Lots of nice passes.
like I said,
Especially that number 15 in the middle.
I might be able to throw it to him, possibly.
Yeah, just throw it up, let him jump and catch it.
That's all. All right, first and 10 for the Patriots. Another handoff to number 2. Swarmed by that defensive line. They were standing there waiting for him. With the carry was LaRonde, number 2. Nice stop by the defense. Again, if you just joined us, Satellite not only is 2-0, they've got 2 shutouts. They've outscored their opponents 57-0. I'm thinking they're taking pride to keep that record going. 2nd and 9 for Freedom. All right, this sounds more like a high school band music. So I like this. This is good. Let's keep that music going.
Nothing better than Friday night football under the lights.
When you think, it would be amazing to be up on one of those Starlink satellites looking down. How many fields are lit up tonight across the country? Unbelievable.
It's great.
All right, 2nd and 9 for Freedom. Trying to do something with this third time they've been on offense. Back to pass. Look at number 15. Oh, pass complete. That is number one, R.J. Coleman.
He seems to be the workhorse.
You know what? I'm telling you, you want to save that young man for the 4th quarter.
He's playing offense and defense.
Yes. 6 minutes to go. As you can see from the scoreboard, it's 12-0. Missed extra point the first time by Satellite. Missed 2-point conversion the second time. But thanks to 2 runs, one of 6 yards and one of 20, they lead 12-0, looking to go 3-0 to start the 25 season. 3rd and 4, Patriots out of Freedom. It'll hand off. It's number 2, Waylon Laronde. I don't know if there's going to be much up the middle tonight, Coach.
Yeah, Satellite's taking that middle away from them. They're going to have to throw the ball a little bit, throw it out in the flats, or try to get somebody open deep.
4th down, back to punt for the 3rd time. See what that young man is. Trying to see what that number is for the punter. Had a pretty good punt last time. First time, a little bit off the side of his foot. Second time, he make amends for it. 3rd punt tonight, a little bit high. Ooh, he did get a piece of that. Partially blocked. That's number 75. Came in there for the block. Zach Hyman, if I pronounce that correctly. Nice little block.
You got to give your punter a chance. You got to block.
When you hike it high and you let them come in, that's not a good combination.
My thought is whoever blocks and tackles the best usually wins.
Yeah, it's you know what, and you bring up a good point. Like you say, defense wins championships. It just takes a lot of pressure. Where now the offensive coordinator, even though we've still got 4 minutes left in the second quarter, you just kind of feel like they got to get something going.
Yeah.
And they're in, I don't want to say they're in a crisis mode, but even just to give the young men something to go into the locker room with, and Satellite's not giving them a chance.
No, Satellite's playing tough defense. And with your defense, you got to get off the field and get your offense back out there. And Satellite's doing a good job of doing that right now. So they're not wearing that defense down.
And my son, he played for Rockledge, and I remember his senior year, he started out playing both ways. Excellent shape, went to state as a wrestler, but playing both. There goes number 34. Uh-oh, that might have been a face mask. Yeah, there we go. Face mask, that's number 34, Raiden Kerr. Add on half the distance to the goal, and it should be 1st and goal to go. That was a face mask for sure. They're going to mark it off halfway. Man, I tell you, and you know what? I'm going to say this, and I don't know this young man, number 34, Kerr. He's the epitome. What do they say? It's not the dog and the size of the dog, the dog in the fight. It's the fight. That young man's probably no bigger than I was. I'm not tackling him. He's low to the ground, looks straight ahead. He don't stop for nothing.
He's a tough player for sure. Good running back. He's got several good running backs on this team.
All right, first of all to go inside the 10 because the yard mark has been dropped. Back to number 34. He's still rumbling. Oh my gosh, he's in. Touchdown, number 2 for 34 Raiden Kerr. Man, oh man, he got, we were talking, okay, there's yards after catch. I don't know, yards after hit maybe. He got hit after about 2 yards. He took the 8 yards all by himself.
He put his head down.
Man, he sure did.
That's his senior.
You know what? I don't have the. Well, no, I don't have what year.
You don't have the year. He is. He could be a franchise player.
So we are 18. I'm not sure if they're going to go for 1 or 2.
Yeah, you got to go.
They're going to go for 2.
Got to go for 2.
Number 5, Brody Brennan for Satellite under center. A little bit of motion going on, heavy on the left side. Let's see what they do. Yep, running to the left. Why not? Number 34, and 2-point conversion is good. That's Kerr with his second touchdown tonight. 10 yards plus 2-point conversion. Satellite now leads 20. Not on the board yet.
Can you plug it back in? You gotta check when it falls out.
That was probably the last thing that Freedom wants to see tonight. That they got a punt block. Again, 3rd time tonight out of 4 times. Satellite has started on offense and their side of the ball, and they just don't have an answer yet for that run game.
Got to get this kicking game under control here.
Yeah, that's been a little tough.
when you kick short punts, or
Right.
you get them blocked like that,
Right.
you're giving the opponent
Right.
an advantage there.
Well, and you said it right earlier too. You know, that last one, that punt was over his head, so that takes about a second away. And then you got a guy come in. You can't fault the punter on that. All right, bringing it back. Oh, nice hit. Wow. Nice hit. That was number 2, Satellite, Drayden Mitchell. Man, and that was number 1, R.J. Coleman. Coach, R.J., he is a gamer. He can't do this for 4 quarters.
Oh yeah, you can tell these kids have been on the weights.
Yeah.
Satellite probably has one of the best weight rooms around. Back when I was here in '98, way back in '98, we built
Coconuts,
the
right, or something?
Yeah, it was coconuts. But
Dallas.
we built a new weight room here. It was a racquetball court.
Oh, wow.
And we built a weight room out of it.
Wow.
We got donations, and
cool.
I know when Coach Kimmy was here, he got a bunch of new weights.
Yeah.
And you got to have a solid weight room.
Well, they
That's
built
a
that brand new
foundation.
locker room about 10 years ago. I remember that. All right, 1st and 10 for Freedom. He's going nowhere. That is number 22, I believe, on the tackle. That is Donald Klein. Got a flag on the play. Which way we going? North or south?
Be careful when you're moving it around, because that might be why it keeps going.
Yeah, having a weight room, it gives you a solid foundation on your football team.
Oh, yeah.
And
And you know what?
kids gotta live.
And it's even college. I remember a couple years ago, Florida. You know, they got and all the differences. There was that strength, you know, that conditioning coach.
Multi-million-dollar
yeah,
facility.
Yeah, you've got to. All right, so they declined the penalty because it was a loss. So it was against Freedom, declined by Satellite. They'll take the play, which was a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13 for Freedom, ball on the 24. We've got 3:13 left in the first half. Oh, nice up. There's 15. Oh, did he catch it? Oh, almost. Number 21, Caleb Jones. Pass intended for Jermaine Wimberly. Man, he climbed the ladder right there, Coach.
I thought he was going to catch that.
Man, I did too.
His quarterback's not too bad.
No, he's not.
He's got a nice spiral. Throws the ball
You might just have to hold
pretty
the
accurate.
ball.
Well, I do. It looked like they double teamed Wimberly, which I would too. But now with that, you got to have somebody else step up on the other side of the field. They're going to double team 15. Somebody's got to be open. We'll see if Freedom can make the adjustment. 3rd and 13 with 3:04 left to go in the first half. Ball sits at their 20. Satellite up 20-0. Look around. We got 4 wideouts, 2 on each side. You know, again, Coach, I'm never going to pretend to be a football coach, but I'm just thinking you got to get past that first down marker.
Yeah, I don't.
You know, throwing it 5 yards when you need 13 with the way that defense is playing, I think you're rolling the dice if you think you're going to get a first down.
Yeah, like you said earlier, what's the worst thing that could happen is an interception, and interception probably further than kicker.
Yeah,
That's
he's
kicked tonight.
But
Unfortunately.
yeah, I think that's just got to be something they got to talk about. Is those receivers got to go longer. All right, another high snap. Yeah, a little bit of let's see if he gets a good roll on it. Yeah, got a good roll. All right.
Nice roll. Nice kick.
It counts towards your punt down to the 42-yard line. That's down by number 17, Calvin Bramer. And with 2:44 left in the first half. All right, Coach, you got 2:44 left. You're down 20-0. Satellite's pretty much had their way with you. They're trying to pitch their 3rd straight shutout. What are you coming out with?
I would probably loosen up a little bit, throw a few passes. You know, you've got to work on that for the other games that you play. You got to get tougher competition as you go through through this season. People are going to get better. Teams are going to get better. So you got to have You got to have all your plays in line.
Right. All right. Quarterback Pedro Rodriguez, he's a junior. Brings him back. 2 in the backfield. That pass was complete to number 7, Tim Darby. Nice pass play play, Coach. Let me tell you,
I remember that play years ago with Coach Burke. I remember it just popped in my head.
I tell you what I like. You've been running the ball so good all night, and you pass on first down. As a defensive coordinator, I might not expect that.
Right. Well, you asked me what I do. I said I'd open it up a little bit. And they are. I think I'm going to open it up here.
Well, and again, it's early in the season. If you do get way ahead, now some of those guys on the sideline can get some playing time.
Yeah.
Because you might need them later. First and 10, the ball sits at the Freedom 44. Looking to go down the field. Pass intended for number 3. Cody Whitson falls incomplete. Second down. We did mention for Freedom, head coach Brandon Pennington. Their principal is Charles France. For Satellite, as we mentioned, and their athletic director is Robert Rigo. For Satellite, of course, we mentioned Hall of Fame coach Dan Burke, Principal Courtney Lundy, and our good friend, athletic director TJ Gaudy, who also coaches baseball. We appreciate them giving us this opportunity tonight to start 2025 with our first broadcast. 2nd and 10, Satellite, clock down to 2:26. They're trying to make something happen before the final buzzer at halftime goes off. Oh, wide open, number 12. Noah Corval. Coach, it doesn't get any prettier than that.
Nice
That
throw,
was
good.
wide open. Wow.
Almost missed that play. I was listening to the band from Freedom.
I know,
What
right?
Band. They've got like 100 kids in that band.
Oh, yeah. I gotta
Did you see
say,
that?
what was it?
Freedom band. That was
Oh,
really
well, they might
big
have.
band.
I think they might have 210.
Wow.
Right,
So
going
we're
for the
dancing
extra point.
to that band.
Yeah. All right, going for 2. And this time it is good. And at the 2:15 mark, yeah, just on that side of the screen, yep. At the 2:15 mark, Satellite 4 touchdowns tonight, 3 on the ground, that one in the air, 40 yards from Brennan to number 12, Corval. They lead 27-0. Coach, except for the first time they had the ball with a couple of penalties that shot them in the foot, they've scored every time.
Yeah, they have. Like I said, the humidity and
Right.
both for Freedom,
Right.
they're playing both ways. A lot of these kids, they're gonna be worn out.
You know, I remember back when Ethan was playing, and there were a lot of guys going both. Like I said, Ethan, tip-top shape, went to state as a senior, playing both ways on the line.
Great athlete.
And again, look at Satellite. Once you get enough guys coming out where you don't have to do that,
Right.
that is huge.
Typically, Satellite, they don't like to have kids go both ways. And that's been forever.
We kind of covered it. That was number 21 for Freedom, Isaac Valaquez. Yeah, and when you're looking at, what do they got, maybe 25 or 30? If they're tired now, 2 quarters from now, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough on them. They're going to have to regroup at half.
2:10 left in the first half. 27-0 Satellite. Again, we can sit here all day and talk about opponents and who they play. But watching Satellite on both sides of the ball, they've looked crisp, if I could use that word. They
really
look
do.
good. They really have.
Well, with Coach Burke being at
Right.
the head, as a head coach, they're going to be coached well.
Right.
And I see a lot of good technique out there. Playing well on both sides of the ball.
Funny you even recognized a play that he just ran.
Yes.
All right, 1st and 10. Looks like they're just going to play it safe. They're keeping the ball on the ground. That's the Rondé. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Looks like the ball sits on right at their 20, maybe 21-yard line. Yeah, Satellite, again, we can sit here all day and talk about who their opponent is. but they've looked really good. They played consistent, not a lot of penalties, open field tackling, nice pass plays, 6 guys carrying the ball, timeout for Freedom. Man, I just like what I see.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as a first year at Satellite, Coach Burt has certainly put a good product on the kids.
Let's see what their schedule is. Look at their schedule, and then I want to see if they play Space Coast, because that, both teams being in the SAA, that could be a good game if they both go in there with pretty good records. Timeout Freedom, I think that's their first half. No, they don't play Space Coast. Actually, the only in-county team that Satellite plays is September 12th at Cocoa Beach, so could be a good matchup. Going to run up the middle. Timeout Satellite. We've got 1:48 left. Third down. You think he wants the ball again, Coach?
I think so.
Third down. And a timeout.
By the way, it's set up in this independent ball, right?
So Freedom is actually in FHSAA 7A. Satellite this year, along with Holy Trinity, joined Space Coast and Bayside. They're in the Sunshine State Athletic Association. And what I like is, so their regular season starts with the kickoff classics, and then in the last week of the season, last game, I think it's week 12 they call it, they actually start their play, and all the teams make the playoffs.
Okay.
And you know what? That's pretty cool. And Space Coast, they last year won the state championship, won 10 games. I think they went 10-3 with Coach Owens back at the helm, the winningest coach in Space Coast football history.
He's done a great job of it.
He has done a great. He's a great guy. We went up there last year. Super nice guy. I can tell you, he's got a podcast. He's a big Cincinnati Bengals fan.
Oh yeah.
So he's a big Burrows fan. All right, 3rd and 9. Freedom trying to make something happen. The ball out to Coleman. Goes nowhere. Nice stop by number 2, Drayden Mitchell. Brings up a 4th down. And with 1:41 left, Coach, I think Satellite's got one more shot at it. They're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, I think he is going to try to get another touchdown here. Why not?
I didn't look up what the enrollment was. I should have asked Chat GPT that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But 7A, I'm thinking you got to be close to 2,000. And, when you've only got 30 that come out, 35 maybe at the most, that's tough. I don't care.
Yeah,
And I mean, they got some great athletes. They got that number 1 R.J. Coleman, number 2 LaRonde, quarterback Rodriguez. But you got to have guys coming off the bench. You can't do it all.
Yeah, you would think they'd have more kids participating.
All right, a little bit off the side of his foot. All right, again, I think this is they scored 4 times. This is the 6th time they've had the ball, and Satellite has started in Freedom's territory 5 out of 6 times. I don't care how good you are. If your opponent's starting on your side of the 50, 85% of the time, you're not going to win many ball games.
It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night.
Satellite with 131 looking to add on their 27-0 score.
The thing that connects the computer to the
Again, as I mentioned earlier,
just broke off
Satellite
inside
has
of it.
pitched 2
So we have no game shut
shutouts.
now
They've
for
scored
the game.
57 points. Only scored
We have no
93
SD
last year in 10 games. So they are halfway there after just 2 games, averaging 28.5 points per game. On the flip side, Freedom was only averaging 4 points a game last year. And unfortunately, their offense is just kind of stuck there again. Pass down the middle. Nice interception play by Freedom. That is number 3, I believe. Wesley Diaz, because I don't have him. Let me write him in. Number 3, Wesley Diaz wasn't on the Max Preps roster. Gets a nice INT.
Yeah, Freedom has an enrollment of 2,513 students.
2,500, and you might have 30 to 35 out for football. That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
You would think you could have more, but
hey, listen. I'm glad to see a little bright spot for Freedom.
yeah,
You know,
interception there.
hopefully they'll use that. Maybe get a first down or two. I'm not going to jump to conclusions that with a minute 20 in the first half they're going to score, but you know, it'd be nice, and you said it earlier, let's see if they can get something going, make it a little competitive, because again, you know, it's great to pitch a shutout 3 times in a row, but you got to get your kids battle tested, because not every game's going to be like this.
oh, absolutely.
First and 10 for Freedom. They are at their 17. Got a pass play going, got a nice rush going. Number 10 was in there for the Scorpions, Avery Thompson.
Good
Quarterback
pressure there
just
by
threw it
Thompson,
away.
yeah.
Smart move, nowhere to go.
Good pressure there by Thompson.
You know, I think you said it in the first quarter, that line of scrimmage, all satellite both ways.
Yeah, they have dominated the line of scrimmage. Anytime that happens, you're going to have a long night if you are Freedom, for sure. Actually, that's where the ball game's won or lost.
Yeah,
Line of scrimmage.
I mean, you either can run the ball or not.
Yeah.
And you know, you coach, you're going to put Freedom in a situation where they're going to have to pass. And right now, that I haven't seen that connection yet where Satellite's too concerned.
Yeah, they're going to have to pass. They're down 27-0. They got to get a break here.
Oh, nice man again. Too many numbers to call on that play. Satellite just having that their way with that line of scrimmage play. Clock is going. 50 seconds left. You know, and again, I got to say, class move on Burt. It's 3rd down. They could probably call another timeout.
Yeah.
Get the ball back, but you know, he's already tried that. Got the interception. They're up 4 touchdowns to none. Just looking, nobody get hurt, nothing silly, and you know, go and regroup and make your plan for second half. Oh, bad snap. Yeah, tough night for centering the ball, whether it's just during a regular play or whether it's to the punter. But they're just going to let that clock run out. And coming to you live from Satellite High School, Doug Cook, Bill Harris, Press Box Live, Press Box Overtime. Satellite High School has scored 4 out of the 6 times they've had the ball. First time they missed a field goal of a 47-yard attempt. 6th time, the last time they had an interception. The 4 times in between, they have scored a touchdown and they lead 27-0. It looks like both bands are going to perform. Looks like we got Freedom coming out first.
I am looking forward to their band.
Well, I think Coach Gowdy said they had 6 or 7 buses, 210 strong. If you got 210 strong, you're going to put out some tunes.
I wonder if any of those kids can play football. You might want to
Yeah, no, exactly.
grab a couple of them, put a jersey on them.
Who's carrying that tuba?
Yeah, come on out and play some ball. If I was a head coach, I would let them go back out and play at halftime if they come play for me.
Yeah, right.
You got to be creative nowadays.
All right, Coach. We're gonna leave that on the band for now. All right, so you coach Burke. You've looked pretty good on both sides of the ball, both passing and running. You're up 27-0. You know you don't want them to get complacent. So how do you keep them pumped up when they might be thinking we've got this game in the bag?
Well, you got, you know, I mean, you're working with kids, high school kids, and you got to keep them pumped up.
Right.
You want to, I mean, you don't know what can happen second half.
Right.
You got to let them not get overconfident.
Right.
and they got to know they got to execute and keep doing what they're doing right. Second half.
So let me ask you this. So let's say fourth quarter, they got a running clock. But they're only a touchdown and 2-point conversion away from a running clock. Do you put some of your backups in, get the jerseys dirty?
Oh, I would, yeah, definitely. You know, as a head coach, you got to be somewhat of a politician as well.
Right.
So mom and daddies want to see their babies play. They don't come sit in the stands.
We might have grandma watching on YouTube. She wants to see Billy out there play.
So why not give these kids a chance to play? They've been out there in the hot sun, working all summer in the weight room.
Right.
Why not give them a chance to play if you're up, 4 or 5 touchdowns?
Right.
What does it matter?
Right.
Give them a little chance. These kids may be starters next year.
Right.
Give them a little bit of chance to play.
You know, I remember when I coached
Yelled at someone.
at the Booster Club meeting. I coached a little bit of Little League Baseball. The only thing I coached at the high school level. I was blessed to have your daughter and my daughter on the team. Lacrosse right here at Satellite, where they won the first 3 district championships. But I remember when I coached Little League, and I think I told you this story. There was 8 teams in our division. We played everybody 3 times. We went 7-14, but we beat every team 1 time.
Nice.
So for one night a week, we were better than every other team out there. But I remember talking to one of the fathers who coached baseball more than I did. And we were talking about because you got to get everybody in the game, you got everybody playing. He said something I never forget. He said, and your kids played phenomenal baseball, played minor league, championships. You know what your first 4 or 5 are going to do? Fairly consistent.
Right.
7, 8, 9. They're going to win a lot of games for you. And I thought about that even when we played lacrosse, because again, Satellite, and you know this, had some. We could have, we learned from Vero Beach, try not to score more than 19. I remember one time we scored 20. Coach Fanto got upset because again, we wanted the sport to grow, but it gave me the opportunity to get those other girls in and get them because they were going to be starters a year from now. So I agree with you 100%. You don't know what those guys on the sidelines with those clean jerseys, they might get pumped up, come back in the weight room. They've added 20. You know how they grow. And you're right. You got to give them a chance when you can.
Yeah, well, you're building their self-esteem too. Like you said earlier, this game, any sport, any sport you're coaching, is more than winning. You're building character.
Right.
You're having the kids have a good high school experience.
Right.
And if you can get a kid in, you got to win.
Right.
Head coach got to win. Even in high school, you got to get fired. Simple as that. So you got to play your best.
We're going to bring you back to teach science, but don't bring your clipboard, coach.
And there's some nights where you can't put your second and third team kids in.
Right.
This may be a great opportunity to do that.
Right.
And like I said, it's going to make a lot of parents happy. And when you go to your booster club meeting, they're going to be nice to you and not yell at you. That kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think, and you know what? When we coached lacrosse, we had some young ladies that never played a sport. We were blessed with athletes like your daughter played soccer, my daughter played soccer. They had an understanding of the field. But to see, and those girls, that had never played a sport, didn't go on to play college, but to have that opportunity to play a high school sport, to get in the game and to win a championship, seeing that joy on their faces, and I know you saw it more than me when you coached football, man, you can put that district championship trophy in the front of Satellite High School, but and watching their parents be excited, I get goosebumps now.
Well, your 2 kids played high school, one played college. Mine played high school and college. And now we're older, we're retired.
Right.
And I look back on those days, and that was the best days.
I know.
We were traveling.
Yeah.
We had AAU, travel ball, all this.
Right.
We were going all over every weekend. And now, my wife and I can't look at each other and go, what do we do now?
You got those grandkids now, right?
Yeah, grandkids. But to turn back the time and go back to that time, that was so much fun.
I gotta tell you though, my son Ethan, he played 1 year of football at Jacksonville for Kerwin Bell. Played on the scout team, JV team. They went 3-3, won the championship, Pioneer District, and actually got a ring. And then he decided to finish his AA and go into the Air Force. And again, another example. all right, JV, got the dress for the varsity games, bus trips to Lakeland, up to Valdosta, you know, just that experience. I played tennis 1 year, 2 years, 1 year varsity at Cocoa. We were 1-9 as a senior, but I tell you, quitting, down on myself, never entered my mind because I played with 4 or 5 other guys that we were tight, we were good friends, and I don't look back and go, we were 1-9. I look back and said, man, I got that letter jacket. My mom and dad came and watched me play. I won enough matches where I was MVP of the year that year, played a year at BCC, brought in some guys from Australia. I got to keep the racket. So again, you know, I played 1 year, I got my NJCAA card. But again, I don't have any regrets.
No.
I mean, it was fun. I never went to school thinking, oh man, we got beat again, because I was playing with guys that I enjoyed playing with. I was playing a sport I loved, and I loved my coach.
Yeah.
You know, and that meant a lot.
That's what it's all about. I mean, I always told my teams that I coached, either football, basketball, or whatever, track, or whatever I was coaching.
Right.
You know, I just want you to give 100% plus a little more.
Right.
I don't care what the scoreboard says.
Right.
If you do that, you're going to be a winner.
Right.
And out of my 18, 19 years of coaching, I never had a losing season.
Wow. Jeez.
So,
you know, I think you know,
that's what it's all about.
And I know I learned this from other coaches because like I said, you know, I was blessed that Coach Fanto asked me to help her coach lacrosse. And I can remember telling the girls just exactly what you said. Scoreboard takes care of itself.
Right.
If we do what we can do, we're going to win more games than lose. And if we lose, it better be because we played a team better than us. Because you meet those teams from time to time. But if we do what we do, and I remember one time we were playing a team, I can't remember who it was, and they were really good. During warm-ups, I kept seeing our girls looking over at their girls. I'm like, no. You let them watch us. Because you know what that looks like? It looks like you're worried. It looks like you want to see what they're doing. Let them watch us. You show them you don't care what they look like. But you're right, Coach. If you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to win more than lose. And the ones you lose, it better be because they're better than you, not because you didn't play up to your potential.
Well, the great Vince Lombardi said, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean only in sports, it means in life.
Right.
You know, your academics, your character, you know, the way you treat other people, are you nice?
Right.
You know, that's the whole gamut there, and that's what athletics, that's what's so exciting to me about coaching high school athletics, is developing the total person.
Right.
Not just with sports, but being a good character, and you know, being nice and academically, being sound academically, and moving on and getting a college education.
Right.
That's what it was all about.
You know what? Another thing that I love that Vince Lombardi said, I never lost a game, I just ran out of time.
Yeah, the clock ran out. That's true.
Clock ran out. You know what? And you bring up, we both watched Tommy Fleetwood win his first PGA tournament, 164 tries, happened to be the FedEx Championship. But when he went to his post-tournament interview, it's more important, he said, for me to be a better person than a golfer. And I'm like, who says that?
Yeah.
And that's just exactly what you said. And
That's good
you know,
character,
I don't want to turn this to a Mr. Phil show, but I think you're right. If you feel good about yourself and you feel good about how you treat others, you're going to do everything well.
Right.
Whether that's on the field, golf course, in the classroom. And when he said that, I just thought, wow. You know, not that I won $10 million, and you just said the same thing. And you know what? And I know you're the same way. Every now and then, listen. We were talking. You were dean for 5 years. I was a dean for 6 years. We don't make a lot of friends. But on Facebook now, I've got some of those kids follow me that are in their 30s, and I'm seeing their kids, and I'm seeing their their marriage, and I'm like, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I know. When I was a dean or assistant principal, if I was dealing with a kid that was disruptive, I always had something positive to say at the end. Even though I suspended, I suspended him for 5 days, but I had something positive at the end. Like, what can I do to help you?
Surf's up, baby.
What can I do to help you improve what you're doing?
You know what?
You know, I was there for him. And I get kids like that too. I see them in the community. Hey, Mr. Cook.
I know, right?
So,
yeah,
I mean, that's the excitement of being an educator.
Right.
You know, you don't make a lot of money in education, but
you can be a great role model for kids and help kids, and that's exciting. That's why people go into it.
Yeah, you know what? I think you saw my post a couple of weeks ago. A kid from a charter school that I sub at. I was at Costco and I heard Mr. Maharis. Turned around, saw the kid, recognized me. I'm like, hey, he's a kid that I've subbed 5 times a year. And he knew me enough. We talked about, hey, you're going to go to Vieira High School and play a sport. And I said, hey, I'm going to come out and watch some of your games. But yeah, that's, I know my dad. God bless his soul, lived to be 90.
Yeah,
We'd be in the Merritt Square Mall. Is that even, is that open anymore?
I don't think so. I haven't been to Merritt.
We'd be in the mall. He'd be in his 70s, and somebody 40 years old, Mr. Maharis, he would just light right up.
Yeah.
And like you said, whether you're coaching, teaching, mentoring, you know, one thing you mentioned too, and to put it in a bigger perspective, you and I have done a lot of evaluations. Most of them were good, you know, and I always end it with 2 things, because again, we always have something to work on.
Oh, yeah.
Doug, this is what I want to work on for the next year. Let's expand your program and the positives. Because I want them to be positive when they leave my office and know, okay, now we've got to keep moving. And the same thing with kids is we had I have to say, I think you two, for the most part, you know, those kids respected us because of the way we treated them. And because you know what? When those kids needed lunch money, they were hungry, needed a snack, they're knocking on my door as a dean. And that meant a lot that we got a job to do, but that doesn't mean when you come back, I'm not here for you.
Yeah. I always had a philosophy when I was a dean or assistant principal, there's no bad kids.
There's not.
There's no bad kids. And, you know, we're all product of our environment.
Sure.
And that's why it's so exciting, you know, as an educator, that these kids look up to us as role models and mentors. Most of them do. And I know I did with my head football coach at Rockledge. When I went to Rockledge High School, my head football coach was like my father to me. You know? So he made me probably what I am today.
I want to make sure everybody knows we are still here. We didn't have 200-yard cords going down to Publix. Speaking of your coach, the young man that you work with at Rockledge and Coach Smith.
Coach Leroy Smith.
If you're watching us now, go to our YouTube channel, Pressbox Overtime, and there's 2 videos on there for Coach Leroy Smith, and just the history, and him talking about the high schools back then, and him talking about the players that he had and naming their names. I mean, I know people don't like to watch hour-long videos. I could have sat there for 5 hours.
He's 91 years old. When we interviewed, was he 90 or 90?
Listen,
his memory was a lot better than mine.
I don't know.
And he's 20 years older than I am.
I'm lucky he wasn't asking me any questions. Really, remember high school? No, I don't coach. But
what I found,
what a joy.
I found so interesting was, you know, back in the 60s, through integration. He was at the old Monroe High School.
Okay.
And then he moved over, as Dick Blake did, God bless his soul, who passed away recently. They moved over to Cocoa High School during integration.
Gotcha.
And the stories that he has, the history, was so fascinating to me.
Yeah, and I didn't realize, wasn't he telling us that back then the black schools played in a different, I mean, they couldn't play for the state championship, right? I can't say that I knew that.
No, I didn't either.
And again, that was when you and I were in school, so yes, that's maybe 50 years ago, but we are still young enough that I think I was in 3rd grade at Cambridge. My first 2 years I went to Audubon in Merritt Island. My dad was a PE teacher, so he took me with him. That first name was Kenneth, first young man of color that was in our classroom. So that's not that long ago. But because we had people like Coach Smith and a lot of others that didn't matter to them. And you know, Harry Johnson and Coach Smith,
very close.
They're like father and son, and that's pretty special.
Coach Smith was unbelievable. He coached me in football and baseball. And he played in the minor leagues. But he didn't care what color you were.
No.
He didn't care what color you were. He was there for you, to help you, to mentor you, and help you be successful. What a great teacher he was, too. Chemistry teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Just amazing person. But if you get a chance, go on YouTube. And
watch those videos, an hour each. I was just blessed. And I'm telling you, I was racking my brain to remember him, pulled out the old yearbook. Oh, I remember that guy now. he was like barrel chested.
He was in the military, and he was a jumper.
Wow.
And we would have coaches meetings on Sunday, right? He had to leave early to go jump in Titusville.
Oh, yeah.
He would go jump, parachute.
Wow, jeez. That's another thing too that you mentioned, about our coaches, and we were talking earlier to the young man that's running the clock for MCOA, Mid-Coast Official Association. We appreciate all that they do. We've got Kevin May at Palm Bay. We've got John Holmes at Rockledge. We've got Matt Diesel at Titusville. All alum from those schools. We got Logan Halleck, a nephew of his legendary uncle who has passed at Astronaut. That says a lot. It's not just the athletes, it's that leadership that those young men and women, all sports. Beth Scarborough, a good friend of mine, went to Cocoa High School, recently retired from Rockledge. 17, I think, Cape Coast Conference track championship. They walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And when you're playing with somebody like that, like you, that grew up here, and you wore those shoulder pads, and you swung that wooden bat, that means a lot.
Absolutely. Diesel at Titusville, his dad was a head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Dan.
Yep.
And some of the other ones that you mentioned. So it's their kids or grandkids coming up coaching. I'm getting old, Bill.
No. We're getting older. I'm going to get out of your way so I don't put the... All right, so we're starting the second half. Undefeated 2-0. Satellite Scorps lead 27-0 thanks to a 6 and a 10-yard run and 2-point conversion by number 34 for Satellite, Raiden Core. And then we have number 1, Alex Casares, 20-yard run, and let's see what his number is, number 12, Noah Corval, with a 40-yard reception from quarterback Brennan. And they are up 27-0, not only trying to get their third win in a row, but trying to get their third shutout as well. Kickoff goes into the end zone. Freedom, as a reminder, they play 7A District 4 over in Orlando with Timber Creek, Boone, and Winter Park. Both teams were 1-9 last year. Freedom comes in 0-1 due to a 55-8 loss to St. Cloud. And as Coach Cook and I were talking earlier, Satellite is 2-0 because being in the SAA, they do not have a kickoff classic. Their regular season starts what I would say is week 0, but then they end their season a week earlier because all the teams make the playoffs. So 1st and 10, Freedom Patriots going to start at their own 20. Coach, I'm thinking they got to make something positive happen this drive.
Hopefully, the coaches went in and regrouped and
Right.
Hopefully made some adjustments here. So we'll find out on this first series.
All right. Little side pass out to number 2. Just that was Delonde. We talked about that earlier, Coach. Satellite swarms. I mean, they were all over that.
Yeah, they're gang tackling there. I'm
Man.
very impressed. I don't know who the defensive coordinator is, but he's doing a heck of a job.
And I tell you, and the Patriots, they had 2 guys out there blocking, but there was 4 red shirts. Like I said, there's a lot of positives. Consistent play tonight, play across the board on both sides, multiple guys carrying the ball. So far, Coach Burke's got to be happy.
He's got to be happy with what's going on here, but still got 2 quarters to go.
All right, gain of about half, 2nd and 9, just over their own 20. Quarterback Pedro Rodriguez brings them up in the shotgun. Handoff up the middle. Man, he is just... There's nothing there.
Yeah, that defensive line is just dominating the offensive line.
You know what? Sadly, the only time that Freedom has had a run play was in the first quarter. Young man, it might have been Coleman, went 15 yards and they had a 5-yard penalty, brought it back. Other than that, I don't think they've gone more than 3 or 4 yards.
The Scorpion defense is stingy tonight, I'm telling you.
I tell you.
Stingy.
So let me get my math hat on. So 57 and 27 is 84. They've scored 84 points in just in just 2.5 games, where last year they only scored 93. So they've almost reached their point total for last year on offense. So again, and with 3 shutouts last year, I think I wrote it down. They gave up. Oh, I got it somewhere.
Quite an improvement.
Yeah, they gave up 327. 32 points a game. Right now they're giving up 0. And you mentioned earlier, thanks to Chat GPT, if I said that right, GPT, Florida's Scorpions are ranked 292nd in the state, which really, if you're ranked anywhere in the top 300, that's pretty good. And I believe Freedom is ranked 429th. Again, though, it's only been a couple of games, but
I'm gonna give the band like number 2 ranking.
I tell you what,
Over the Scorpions, I give number 1.
I just, I'm trying to think. Now, Freedom might have some different sports. And again, if you're watching and you're over here in Brevard, don't forget we've got 5 other fall sports going on here in Brevard. We got volleyball, bowling, golf, cross country, swimming and diving. And if Freedom has those same sports, you might be looking at some dual athletes, maybe get some of them tall swimmers. I don't know. Try to get somebody, cross-country guys that can run.
Yeah.
But 2,500 kids, 30 on your football team, that's a little tough to overcome.
That is hard.
All right, 3rd and 8. Little flip to Coleman. Trying to turn the corner. Nice little run by Coleman. Picks up about 5. Still leaves them 3-4 yards short of the first down. But that, I think, with Coleman, again, he's looks like, he's one of the only horses they've been saddling tonight as far as going behind him. But
It's been a work.
you got to do that end around. That up the middle is not going to work that we've seen.
Punt.
All right, punter's coming out for about the 4th or 5th time tonight. Let's see if I can get his number. I don't think I've gotten it all right. Let me see. Let me see. Which way is that going to go? Encroachment or movement? If it goes against Satellite, which he's looking south, that's an automatic first down for Freedom. Hey, if I'm Coach Pennington, I don't care how I got it. That's a positive. We got a first down. Let's do something with that gift that we just got handed.
Special teams coach is not real happy, but for settling.
All right, 1st and 10 for Freedom. They are at their own 33-yard line. 5:45 left in the 3rd quarter. And per our brand new scoreboard app, Satellite leads 27-0.
I like that.
And you know what? It's meant for somebody like me at my age, easy to use. So
Yes,
if anybody wants to know how to use ScoreCam, hit me up on Pressbox, message me, and I'll give you a quick tutorial. Pass incomplete. Looking ahead a little bit, we'll go over this later in the broadcast. Now's a good time. It looks like it's a water break.
Water break.
Up next for Satellite, we are going to be down in West Palm Beach. Actually, next Thursday, September 4th, we're playing Oxbridge. And then big game at Cocoa Beach, September 12th, Battle of the Beaches, the only in-county game that Satellite has this season. And then on the 19th, a couple weeks away, they're back at home against Atlantic. So at Oxbridge in West Palm next Thursday, at Cocoa Beach the next Friday, and home against Atlantic. And for any fans of Freedom that might be listening, they are, got it written down here somewhere, let me check it out, I wrote my notes. They are at home next week against Edgewater. Edgewater's pretty stout, coach. Edgewater took the Patriots last year 56-0. So, but they'll be back at home, and hopefully they'll get the fans to watch. That's the promo during the water break. 2nd and 10, Patriots of Freedom High School out of Orlando. Nice. Pass intended for number 1, R.J. Coleman. Incomplete. That's 2 incomplete passes in a row. 3rd and 10 for the Patriots. They are at their own, I'm going to say, 33-yard line.
Yeah, that Battle of the Beaches there with Satellite Cocoa Beach should be very interesting with Coach Kimmy, former coach of Satellite High School, coaching at Cocoa Beach. So that should be a pretty intense game.
You know, Cocoa Beach, we've been to Cocoa Beach several times for various sports. We've been to Space Coast. We went to a couple places last year we hadn't been. The West Shore, Melbourne, Bayside. People there are just so friendly to us. And I just love going to these schools, seeing a lot of old and new faces, and we just appreciate them letting us do this. All right. Nice tackle. I don't know if that was a hold. We got looks like number 64, even though he's giving him back his flag. I don't think he's happy because I think that Well, no, I thought he picked up the flag for the ref, but he threw it back down. But again, that's just
he wasn't real happy.
No, and again, they've had some nice plays and a couple of them, those penalties. Let me throw this out at you, Coach, while the gentleman from MCOA is marching north. What do you think about getting rid of 15-yard penalties? Because I tell you, that's just hard. I don't know. Or maybe only have them for, horse collar or face mask. I just.
Well, if I'm on the receiving end, yes.
But if you're Coach Burke in this situation, you're going to vote for that every single time.
Is that up for discussion?
No, I'm thinking out loud that that's.
I wish I'd get rid of the hit too hard rule and putting kids out.
I don't know. This game happens so fast. Sometimes those defenders, they can't stop that quick.
No.
Late hit or when they're sliding.
I understand a spear, intentionally trying to hurt somebody.
Right up the middle. Tackle made by number 12 for the Scorpions, and that is Noah Corval.
But I've seen some plays that are questionable, helmet contact.
Yeah, it's just...
and you get an impact player out in the first quarter. I mean, come on.
Again, we're not saying that we condone it, but all of a sudden I'm going to tackle you and I'm lowering my head to hit you in the gut, and then you slide when now your head is where your gut was.
Right.
How do you hold that against me? I don't know. All right, so let's see what we got here. Nice little punt, bad bounce. Well done, there you go. And again, for about the sixth time tonight, Satellite starts on the freedom side of the 50-yard line, 1st and 10 at the 47 of the Patriots. We've got 3 minutes exactly left in the third quarter. No score in the third quarter. Halftime score is holding up. It is 27-0 as Satellite not only goes for their third win in a row, they're going for their third straight shutout. And as I mentioned earlier, they are only 10 points away from matching their total points scored in all of last year. So, a lot of positives to hang your hat on right now, Coach.
Oh, yeah. Now, when I was in Cocoa, we had 9 shutouts.
Wow.
And first one that scored on was Jones High School.
Jones, okay.
Yeah. And our kids took a lot of pride in it.
Oh, sure.
A lot of pride in it.
All right. And man, look, he's carrying that. Rumbling, stumbling. Is that what Keith Jackson used to say? 9-yard gain. Again, you talked about it, Coach. That line of scrimmage on both ways right now is all going Red's way. Pickup of maybe a little bit over 8. That was number 3 on the carry, Bodie Whitson. 2nd and a short 2, ball inside Freedom's 40. Satellite up 27-0. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Nice little cutback. Nice little tackle by number 22. I've called his name a couple times. That's that's number 22, Lucas Barbosa. He's a sophomore. Nice tackle by that young man.
Yeah, it was good tackle, good open field tackle.
We talked about that earlier. Good open field. It's not, there ain't nothing easy about it. Pickup of about 1, 3rd and 1. Ball sits at the 37. I'm thinking just right up the middle. Looks like they're giving number 34, running back Kerr, a little bit of a break here. Man, look at that offensive line. Quarterback keeper Brody Brennan picks up the first down. 1st and 10 at the 33 of Freedom. You've got a better eye than I do when it comes to watching a football game. I can't pick out too many negatives right now on the satellite team.
Other than the penalties in that
Yeah.
first drive, I haven't seen much. They're blocking and tackling really well.
Handoff again to number 3, using him a lot this third quarter. Spins around. Nice tackle. That is number 15 for Freedom. That's that wide receiver. Again, young fella Jermaine Wimberly playing both ways.
Yeah,
He's going to catch up to him.
I'm looking out here too, and it's very humid here, but satellite seems to be in really good shape. You don't see kids with their hands on their hip. You don't see kids walking around.
Right. Well, I tell you one thing. I don't think you're going to see their backfield get too tired when you've got 5 or 6 guys.
Yeah, when you're
like right
rotating
now.
them.
No,
Yeah.
he's got Whitson in there, which we didn't see him too much the first half. But Brennan's going to pass. No, he's going to hold on to it. Another nice open field tackle. That's number 21. Isaac Valaquez on the tackle. 3rd down and about 8 for Satellite. Looks like a pass play that didn't quite work out like Satellite wanted. Getting down to the horn's going to blow, and I think we're just going to come to the sidelines. And at the end of the third quarter, no points were added. And as with halftime, your hometown Satellite Scorpions looking to go 3-0 with their 3rd straight shutout. They lead the Patriots of Freedom from Orlando 27-0.
Should do the quarters.
Yeah, so quarters. So anybody that's curious, I'm going to show you. I'm talking to Coach Cook here. So we're going to hit the settings button. We're going to go to launch scoreboard settings, and we're going to scroll down, and let's see where the quarter. Oh, right there, and hit the up button. Hit save.
4th quarter.
Oh, 4th quarter. Oh, I never did the 3rd quarter. Darn it. Listen, I'm catching on.
Yeah, it takes a while.
All right, I got my 4th quarter.
There it is.
All right. So, for you young fellas and ladies out there, if I can do it, you can do it. ScoreCam app. First time we've used it, works pretty good. It's user error that usually comes into play.
It's amazing what the apps you can get nowadays. I'm just totally fascinated.
I don't know. It's even when I'm on the plane playing that word search or solitaire, I get hooked on that for like an hour and a half or so.
I'm usually reading my Bible on the plane and praying when we get there.
Listen, we went through a couple storms on the way up and back from our trip. All right, 3rd down and a long 8. Now we got number, I think that's 17. No, that is 27 in there. I don't have a 27. Nope, so I don't have a 27. So I'm not sure who that was, but that looked like his first time carrying the ball. Again, Coach, it looks like Coach Burke is, starting in the 3rd quarter, giving the other guys some playing time. Feels, probably confident that they've got this game for their 3rd straight win. I'm going to go out on a limb and think his 2 main goals are nobody gets hurt, get as many players in as you can, and let's get that 3rd shutout.
Absolutely, that's my thinking. Down by
That's number 28. That is Adrian Garcia. Again, yet another running back. Listen, they are deep at running backs. I don't know what else to say. That's at least the 7th or 8th guy with a carry. So kudos to, and they've all looked good. I don't think I've seen one running back that hasn't looked good.
I don't think I've seen this many running backs in the history of me working at Satellite High School for 22 years. That's
cumulative.
That's a blessing for sure.
But I think you're right. And you know what? I don't see a ton of size in that position, but I see a lot of fight. All right, back up the middle, number 27. I don't have his name on my roster.
I saw a counterplay up the middle there.
4 minutes not sure. I thought we just started the. Did they agree to a running clock? Is that what we're doing? Is it a running clock or no?
No,
Oh no. Okay.
they just shortened the quarter to 6 minutes.
Okay. I was gonna say. I know I just said
Yeah.
the beginning of the fourth quarter. Okay. All right. So
They
they
just
shortened the
shortened
fourth
it.
quarter to 6 minutes. All right, because I knew I wasn't losing my. Well, not tonight. There have been times when I have lost my. All right. So the fourth quarter was only 6 minutes long. We're down to 3:40 the rest of the game. That might be the first play where the defensive line, led by number 55 for the Patriots, actually has gotten in. That's Essex Ferguson, just a sophomore. He actually recovered a fumble last week, so as a 10th grader, he's having a pretty good season. He's got a fumble and 1 tackle for loss. So again, fourth quarter was shortened to 6 minutes. I thought I was in a time warp or something.
Yeah.
I looked over there. I'm like, wait a second, what did I miss? So we got 3 minutes left in the game with Satellite up 27-0. 3rd and 7. They're inside the 20 of Freedom.
Coach Ash.
It's somewhere in the media box.
Hand off to 27 again. Nice gang tackle. I saw Zero come in there for Freedom. That's Josh Rodney. So I think the kicker is number 30.
Number 1?
30, I think, is the kicker. No,
Number 1, I think.
1.
Does the camera still plugged in?
No. You're
10?
right.
Or is it-
Holder's number 1.
Yeah, I don't have a number 30. I do. Oh yeah, the kicker, Preston Kennedy. Okay. Looks like I might have a cramp. Hopefully that's all
Yeah.
that is. That's pretty nice. Satellite guy helping him out. That's good sportsmanship.
I usually cramp up after playing golf, like
Coach Ash.
2 o'clock in the
Since
morning.
game strat is not
Yeah,
working,
those
right?
things hurt.
When you're making the turn.
Yeah. 2 o'clock in the
Sometimes
morning.
you turn left going
Yeah.
to the clubhouse, and the rest of
Oh.
us turn right.
Right. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I
Oh,
cramp
and when
up.
it wakes you up,
Hurts.
oh man, get calf as hard as a rock, and you're like,
Boy, my wife's laughing at me, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm
no,
like crying.
yeah.
Those things hurt, man.
Yeah, that support goes a long way.
Yeah. I don't see anything funny
That
about
young
it.
man just has a cramp. Clock stopped at 2:23. Again, we shortened the fourth quarter. All right, Coach. Satellite's going to go away with the win, 3-0 in the SSAA. Probably their 3rd straight shutout. Give me one thing Coach Burke is going to tell them. Hats off. That's number 8 coming off the field, Kevin Kuna. So again, we're going to talk positive. I saw a lot of great things tonight, but you got to give them something to work on. What's that going to be?
Well, penalties, get
Okay.
back to penalties and
Gotcha.
that kind of thing. But they didn't have that many, maybe four or five.
Not really. No, I don't think they had any big ones.
But you got to talk about the negative, and that was
Yeah,
the negative part.
right.
If you want to be better, and they have a playoff, right? They have a state playoff.
Right? Yeah. And they're going to go there.
I'd be telling them, we've got a good team.
Field goal. That one looks pretty good.
looks
And
good.
that is at the 2:10 mark. 38-yard field goal by the kicker, number 30, Preston Kennedy.
Yeah, I would tell them, don't get complacent. Don't think you're better than you are, and improve.
Right.
You want to get to the playoffs. You've got a good team, but you've got to keep improving it each week.
Move that up. 30. Yeah, 30. And you bring up a good point. As well as they play. Whoa. All right, that's a big gust of wind. Oh, I think we'll knock that thing out. Let's just leave it out.
Mother Nature just won.
Yeah, just knock that thing out. I'm gonna move your walkie-talkie. There you go, big fella.
Just sit it back there.
I don't know if I still get workers' comp from the district. I just had a window fall out, but everybody's good, everybody's safe. But you're right, it's not so much that, and you said it perfectly, you're looking for something negative. You still got 6 or 7, I think they only played 9 games in a season. Even though you've got 3 straight wins, and you've almost scored as many points as you have all last year, you got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Nice kickoff by Kennedy. We got a flag back there. Number 9 on the carry. That's Micah Owens. He's just a freshman. So again, hopefully Coach Pennington, though he doesn't have a lot of young men out, maybe he's got some young ones that will continue to move on and as he gains some other players during the year.
Yeah, they're definitely understaffed over there. These kids, a lot of kids going both ways.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing the best they can with,
I do.
with what they
I
got.
agree. Yeah, and I got to give them credit. Like I said, they had a tough season last year, 1-9. And I don't care what district you're in. You play in 7A. Next week you got Edgewater. You're playing some stout teams.
No doubt.
Freedom coming back on the field. 150 left in the game. Satellite comfortably ahead, 30-0, as they get ready to put a stamp on what will probably be their third straight shutout. And again, they've scored 87 points so far this year, where last year they only scored 93, so they have almost reached their offensive point total for last year. So hats off to the offensive unit and to the defensive unit, because last year, when we look at my notes, they gave up 327, 33 points a game. They've given up none so far. All right, Freedom trying to see if they can make something happen. A minute 50 to left. They're at their own 3-yard line. Hand off to 21. Gets a couple. Nice tackle by Satellite. Isaac Valquez on the carry. Again, feel free to join or subscribe, I guess is the word they use, even though there's no fee involved, but I think they use the word subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pressbox Overtime, and anytime we do live stream games or we do any interviews or we might do a few podcast shows, you'll get an instant notification of when we're on. So we certainly do appreciate our followers. I think I said earlier, Facebook, we've reached over 700. Twitter, we're over 500, and I think we're getting close to 80 on YouTube. So we appreciate everybody following Doug Cook and I on Pressbox Overtime. Number 21 again on the carry. Valquez. Clock going down, 50 seconds, probably time enough for one more play.
You're talking about St. Cloud's. They played Freedom played St. Cloud last week, right?
Yeah.
And back when I was at Cocoa, we played St. Cloud. They had a kid named Brent Fullwood.
Okay.
He was a first round NFL draft pick.
Wow.
And when we played them, junior year, we beat St. Cloud. We played them at home, and then we went back over there, and Brent Fullwood was a man in a boys game.
Uniform.
In a boys game, yeah. He came up to me and said, "Coach, no disrespect, but we're going to beat y'all tonight." And he was right.
Wow.
They beat us like 38 to 7.
Oh, man, another pass incomplete. Stops the clock with 2 seconds to go. No, they let it run out. So that's the end of the ball game. Freedom Patriots move to 0-2. Next week, just as a reminder for their fans, they're at home versus Edgewater. And for Satellite, they travel next Thursday, not Friday, next Thursday the 4th, to West Palm Beach, where they play Oxbridge. Big game on the 12th at Cocoa Beach. Battle of the Beaches. That's going to be the only in-county game, in-county team that Satellite plays. And the next time they're here on the Satellite campus is September 19th. They're at home against Atlantic. And again, they scored 87 points last year. They only scored 93. I tell you what, I don't know who to talk more about. The defense that has had 3 straight shutouts, or the offense that has already scored as much as they did last year.
Well, you know, the defense complements the offense.
Right.
If you can get off the field and get your offense back out there,
Right.
you're gonna have a great game.
Right.
But if that defense is out there all night, it's gonna be a long game.
You know what?
I credit the defense.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of good play from those young men on Freedom. Number 1, Coleman, quarterback. But when you're playing it both ways, that number 15, I tell you, that number 15, that wide receiver, somebody gets him he connects with that quarterback and he's not playing both ways.
I'd give him an NIL deal.
That's the kind of kid that colleges will just look at his size and say, listen, give us a year or two to get you to a junior, and we can make something happen. But he looked
great
good.
catches.
He sure did. And he was at least double teamed. I think that young man, I think walking away, his son scored a touchdown. Just to recap, Kerr scored 2 touchdowns. Patala scored 1. Corval scored 1. We had a 2-point conversion for Kerr, 38-yard field goal, 30-0 Satellite. But listen, the weather cleared. We certainly wish Freedom a nice and safe trip back on the bus. It's going to be a long trip. Let's put the Coach Pennington hat on. You're 0-2. I think last week they scored. Listen, I got to give you credit. I think they actually scored against St. Cloud. They scored 8 points. Now again, that might have been St. Cloud. Doesn't matter. They scored 8. They didn't score tonight. They got Edgewater next week. What are you telling your Patriots?
Well, first of all, is this his first year of coaching?
Well, I can't tell.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it is, to be honest with you.
Well, he may be obviously rebuilding, right?
Yeah, small.
I didn't know
So
we shared there.
anytime you're taking over a program, you're going to have some bumps and bruises.
Sarah,
You know, it's
Right.
I'll text you
not
later. I'll ask
easy
you later on
to
this.
build a football program.
I'm not supposed to tell people.
Hours and
Tell me.
hours of practice,
I wanna
game
know.
film, everything that goes, fundraising, everything goes into this game on Friday night. And most parents and people don't know about all that stuff.
Right.
It's a lot of hard work, and that's probably what's happening over here in Freedom. They're rebuilding the program,
Right.
and I'm sure in the future he'll have get more kids out there and have a successful program.
Yeah, we called out a couple of names that were freshmen and sophomores. So, and I think you're right. It's not just wins and losses, even though we all like to win. It's the experience. I don't know Coach Pennington, but those kids played hard for him tonight.
They didn't give up.
No, didn't give up. That number 1 Coleman was still running like crazy at the end of the game, a lot of energy. So if you're playing for somebody you like and you're seeing positives, and hopefully that gets other kids to want to get involved next year, or even for spring ball. So hats off to Coach Pennington, and we wish them all the best next week against Edgewater. Safe travels. But for now, for Coach Burke, Hall of Fame coach, he's 3-0. They've scored 88 points, I believe, 5 shy of what they scored last year, 3 straight shutouts. Satellite next Thursday, not Friday. They're going to be down in West Palm Beach playing Oxbridge Academy. Hopefully next week, you'll see these 2 retired guys living the dream. Hopefully
baby.
somewhere wearing the microphones. We certainly do appreciate you watching. Any last words, Coach, before we head for an ice cream sandwich?
It's just good to see you tonight. I know you've been world traveling for a while here, and we got to get you back on the golf course here.
Dad,
And,
take him here.
play a little golf.
That sounds good to me. That's the way to end the show. He's Coach Cook. I'm Bill Maharis. We're Press Box Overtime. Thanks for watching tonight. Satellite, 3rd straight win, 31-0, 3rd straight shutout. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. If I read it collected, we got 91 college games on TV. I got to go to Publix before they close to get my snacks. Happy Labor Day, everybody. From Coach Cook and me, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
See you.